Information tonight about 4 teenagers struck by lightning in downtown St. Petersburg. It happened as they stood under a giant banyan tree along Beach Drive.
And that is where 10 Tampa Bay's Eric Lasser is live this evening with more on how they're doing, Eric, and how this all unfolded.
Yeah, Josh, Courtney, you know, you're probably familiar with this big banyan tree if you've visited downtown St. Petersburg. People take pictures in front of it all the time. Kids sometimes swinging on the vines from it. But yesterday, St. Pete Fire Rescue says that there were 4 teenagers standing under it taking shelter and that this tree acted like a lightning rod, sending a shock through those 4 teens. Let me show you some pictures that were shared with me just earlier today. This was seconds after that lightning strike. Rocco DeFrenza and his wife, they shot this video. They were standing under another nearby tree, and they said to themselves, you know, this probably isn't a good idea. So they went across the street to a nearby restaurant. Moments later, he tells me that they heard the crack of lightning, saw those same teenagers that had been standing next to them just moments before on the ground. According to St. Pete Fire Rescue, 2 of those teenagers had only minor injuries. At least 1 had suffered burns. Another went into cardiac arrest on the way to the hospital, but we're told all 4 are now in stable condition. The message from family members and fire rescue workers: don't assume that lightning can't strike you where you are. Even in densely populated areas like this, it is best to seek shelter.
Lightning doesn't care. It takes the path of least resistance and usually strikes the highest point. So, hiding under a tree or near a tall building isn't necessarily the best scenario for anyone.
By the way, we happened to be out here this morning as city workers came out to assess the tree itself. They told us from what they could see, it seems to be all right. Rescue workers say all those branches and roots probably help to dissipate the electricity. They don't believe that anyone who was standing under the tree took a direct hit from the lightning bolt itself. And while those who were standing directly underneath it took the brunt of the impact, we spoke with people today who say that they could feel the energy from that lightning strike several feet away. Reporting live in downtown St. Pete, Eric Lasser, 10 Tampa Bay.
Oh, I'll bet. All right, Eric, thank you for that. Let's bring back in meteorologist Colleen Campbell here, because Colleen, this is just a really good reminder. If you hear that thunder, you are at risk of being struck by lightning.
Yeah, so as Erica was just explaining and talking to officials there, I loved what they said because it's so true. Lightning wants to find the least resistance, and it's going to go for that highest point. But if you ever saw those pictures, there's amazing photos where, well, it's not so amazing, it's kind of sad, but sometimes out in farmland, you see cows. Lightning strike can take out a field of cows because it will travel through the ground. So it's trying to find that path of least resistance. And although it hits that highest point, it will travel down the tree and out through the ground. So that's why we say, absolutely, if you can hear thunder, you are close enough to get struck by lightning. Let's go to these storm reports. We had 2 reports of lightning strikes, one in Manatee County and another one that we just went over, the one in St. Pete. So dangers of lightning. We just went over this. If you can hear thunder, you're close enough to get struck. There's different types of lightning. There's cloud to cloud, cloud to ground. There's also positive and negative strikes. The positive strikes are something that you really have to be aware of because those are the strikes that can travel a far distance, and those are the ones that can be deadly. Think about this. The lightning strike is coming, the positive ones, are coming from the top of that anvil cloud, where the negative ones, the ones that you often see, negative lightning strikes are more common, come from the base of that cloud, but it can strike up to 10 to 15 miles away at least. Now, I'll leave you with this. A lot of people had questions. Was this a bolt out of the blue? No, that storm was right on top of the pier. You can see this is from yesterday. That's that reflectivity, all of the rain. Here's without the rain and the lightning strikes. And again, lightning can strike from very far away. So it was not the case yesterday where it was a bolt out of the blue. A bolt out of the blue is where it looks like a clear blue sky, and what's happening is the lightning is traveling from a thunderstorm cloud that could be 25 miles away. But yesterday, that storm was right on top of them. And again, if you can hear thunder, when thunder roars, head indoors. We say it all the time, and there's a good reason for that.